here. So what do we got here? We got the Gaak. We got good old Glowgaak.
Saying goodbye to Glowgaak, hopefully.
This could be the final time we ever play with this card on Versus. And you are playing...
This is Eldrazi Tron.
Eldrazi Tron,
It has picked up a lot in the last 2 months on the back of a supposedly strong Glowgaak matchup.
Yep.
Now, neither of us believes that is actually the case.
I don't believe that's the case. No, yeah. I think it is reasonable, and they can get under you, and Chalice can do some things. But I think just overall, I think Glowgaak's just doing way too powerful things, you know?
Well, there's such a strong consistency advantage on the Glowgaak side.
Yeah.
You're doing your powerful things every time. There are draws that this deck has that are just bad.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, there's draws that are bad from here, but bad from the Glowgaak side is like, unfortunately, I only put 16 power into play on turn 3. Like, it was just too slow. While we're shuffling, do we got a quick question there, Rob?
Yeah, after Gaak gets banned, hopefully, do you think the Urza becomes a new boogeyman of the format?
I do. I think it's going to be the best deck. But the thing is, I think Urza is going to be the best deck, but there's so many decks that get opened up because of Glowgaak that there could be a easy matchup against Urza, because Urza, well, it's good against the metagame right now. Urza has a lot of really bad matchups. Urza has bad matchups. But, you know, as it stands now, you know, it just... Every matchup, because of Glowgaak kind of narrowing the format and kind of chokeholding the format, all those matchups are just good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Urza deck is flexible and powerful enough that it can solve bad matchups. I think Tron will ultimately be bad because it just plays too much to the board.
Yeah.
I mean, you have some needles, but you know, you've got to have your needles, otherwise their O-Stones are just incredible.
Green Tron or Urza Tron is actually a pretty good matchup against Urza.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eldrazi Tron has some good tools.
Yep. Okay. So you're on the play.
Yep.
All right.
I will be playing first, and we were looking for fast mana, and we did not find it. So let's send that one back.
If we take a look at my hand, it's not perfect by any means, but it does just enough where we go this on turn 1, this on turn 2, and then we'll be able to sneak that into play. This is a keep. It's a keep. We don't have to worry about too much severe graveyard hit game 1 against this matchup. You really have to just worry about Chalice, quick Thought-Knot Seers that can kind of put us in check sometimes, but game 1 should be relatively good for us, and then the fun stuff comes in.
And we got Ryan Overturf. He's got a question here. When are you cowards going to play Mono Red Prowess?
When you come to visit, Ryan, we're waiting for you to get in here. Show us your GP top 4 winning deck list, or top 4 placing deck list, and show us Young Guns how it's done.
I believe we've played Mono Red Prowess. I believe we've played Mono Red Prowess before. A little while ago. I think Todd was the one who played it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
For what it's worth, I think the deck is good. Yeah. I really think the deck is good. We'll see once Glowgaak gets banned, because once again, that's another deck that benefits off the smaller format here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not have a great hand, but, you know, we have a shot with this hand, and we've got some good draws to turn it into a great hand. So definitely keep on 6.
And I definitely have about the worst 1-drop you can have in this deck, so not too bad here. We are taking 3.
Well, that's a mine, and this is a tower, so that's good. And I do have a Chalice for 1.
Okay.
You're at 17. I've got my Chalice, and that might just end the game.
It won't.
There's a couple trophies.
It sure won't.
But
all right, so I'm at 17. You're at 20. Yep. All right, well, on top, we will go sack down to 14.
Yep.
We're going to go get ourselves a Blood Crypt. Chalice for 1 is a good card, but if we already get to cast a 1-drop, it's perfectly reasonable. And then we will go Wayfinder.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. No hit. I'll do a little bit of graveyard manipulation here. Play a Glowgaak and attack for 4.
I'm at 16 and probably dead.
Your turn. Like, look at this. What are you gonna do to this? People, just if you're going to Vegas, play Glowgaak. Just play it. Just play the deck. Cedric Phillips said it best. Just play the dang deck.
Cavern on Eldrazi. Pass the turn.
Okay. Chalice on 1. Getting you out of a lot of sticky situations here. All right. So I think we'll start with Glowspore Shaman. We are playing Glowgaak here. So just basically a worse Satyr Wayfinder. You almost never put a land on top.
It's on the battlefield.
Oh, yep. You almost never put the land into play, and then we'll attack here.
I go to 1.
All right. Trigger. Bloodghast comes back. We'll sack. Yeah, we'll save that. We'll pass to you.
I have no castable spells.
Oh no. Yeah, that wasn't a great follow-up to the Chalice on one.
I had Tron Land, Cavern, and then Chalice, Thought Knot, Karn, Smashers. If I drew like a Eldrazi Temple, then I get to play Chalice into Thought Knot.
Yeah,
kind of cool, but that wouldn't have been good enough. If I just ripped Tron, I can get a bridge down, but I needed the bridge before you got me to 1.
Yeah.
If I can get it down at 15, then
it's reasonable. Yeah. Because I mean, if I nickel and dime you with the small creatures, it's not as relevant. If you can just shut off even one attack from Glowgaak, like if you only give me one attack from Glowgaak, you can still possibly win with bridge, but it's not great.
Okay.
So
let's do some live sideboarding.
Okay.
I have some Ley Lines of the Void. And these should have been in my deck.
All right, fair enough.
The rest of the sideboard is just a Karn package. So I don't think I'm going to be bringing in any of these, though sometimes I do consider it. Cards I want to cut are... All's Dust can be okay. This Ugin seems heinous.
Yeah, that Ugins does not seem too great.
Endbringer can be okay, but it's really expensive. I just want to cut expensive cards. Dismember does not seem particularly good. Does not kill Glowgaak, and removal is pretty poor. So we have 3 Dismembers and an Ugin. Let's just cut those. We'll leave the Endbringer in. Endbringer is probably better than having any of these. I like leaving the Crypt in the sideboard so I can Karn for it.
Sounds reasonable to me.
The Wormcoil might be... Wormcoil is probably better than Endbringer.
Wormcoil is very good. You definitely want Wormcoil, but remember that if you have 1 in the sideboard, you have 4 in your main deck due to Karn in your deck.
Yeah.
So I just usually want to keep that.
I think most of the time I just don't think I'm ever Karning for this card.
Sure.
I think most of the time I either need to get like a Ensnaring Bridge to walk you out, and then I can get Lattice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's actually better in my deck.
Okay. Completely reasonable. So for me, we take a peek at Ley Lines. Definitely not good. Thoughtseize not great. Engineer not great. And Shenanigans is not too great against you. If you have Cage, sure, but Leyline is definitely the more popular hate right now.
Yeah.
So I want to bring in these. I'm unsure about Fatal Push.
I actually do have a Cage over here too that I just missed.
Yep. Yeah. And then that is another Karn target if you feel, or you bring it in.
At 5 mana, I think it's too slow. I'd rather just have it in my deck.
Sure.
So let's find another card to cut.
So I like, once again, just taking out a diverse amount of things to kind of hedge against Leyline if you do have it. I like taking out Stinkweed as like the for sure takeout. I really do like taking out 1 looting because it is card disadvantage. It's not card advantage when you have just in general. And when you have Leyline out, it feels really bad for that exchange. As far as all the rest, Crypt Breaker is the real decision here, and sometimes it's great, sometimes it's horrible. So I think in the Leyline games, it's a lot better because you're playing you're doing a lot more fair stuff to try to find your hate. So I think we're going to leave this in, and we're going to try 1 Fatal Push for your Thought Knots. All right, we got any questions while we're shuffling up?
Do not have any, unfortunately.
All right. Fair enough. Ryan scared everyone away.
Yeah.
With his mean comment.
Ryan and Glowgaak. Glowgaak is also pretty scary.
Yeah, Glowgaak is scary.
Okay. I will be on the play yet again.
Sounds good.
Hopefully I can get Leyline as often as I did with that Jund deck.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, honestly, though, your Leylines did great against Urza. You shut down... I would have just killed you, I think on like turn 4 or something if you didn't have it in that final game.
I do not have Leyline, and this hand is once again very slow, and the mana is not good. So,
your colorless deck
is a colorless deck with some of the worst mana I've ever seen.
I know, and unfortunately, that has always been my problem with E-Tron. My brother loves the deck; it's his pet deck. It's 100% what he likes to be doing. But for me, I just don't like it when my mana base is trying to do 2 different things. I'm trying to assemble Tron sometimes, and then I'm trying to just Cavern and Eldrazi Temple and stuff sometimes as well. I'm not a huge fan personally, but
yeah. It's a Tron deck that doesn't put Tron together as
consistently
and isn't as good once you put Tron into play. But the benefit is you're better without Tron.
Yeah. It's an odd dynamic here. So if we take a look at my hand, my keeps are always very interesting post board. And this one is pretty rough. We do have Hogaak and we do have 2 1-drops. So it is reasonable, but if Leyline hits, we don't have an answer for this. And we actually do need a little bit of help to actually cast turn 2 Hogaak, so this one's not good enough.
Okay. This hand has some ability to curve, and it has a piece of hate, so we will be keeping it, and I think that's our worst card.
Hate.
See what Corey has on 6.
All right, so we're going down to 6 here. Let's see what our 7 looks like.
Tandon one should have stopped making fun of Tron.
To be fair, we're making fun of Eldrazi Tron.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so we're going to look at this hand. I think this hand is great. It kind of has everything we want. This is the only thing that's a little redundant and bad, so we'll keep this.
Okay, I will start on Temple Cage.
Hey, at least it's not a ley line.
Not a ley line.
All right, so now I think we're just going to go like this and ship it to you.
That's an interesting one. It doesn't really ramp us anywhere, so let's just get the Reshaper down.
Yeah. Oh, I totally made a mistake. Okay, we're going to go to 17 here.
Yep.
Still going to be a strong play, but I think I actually had a better play. I'll discuss it here when I start going through my turn here. We're going to destroy that cage.
Claiming?
Yep.
24.
All right, so this is exiled. Oh, wait, no, not exiled, but all right, so there's that. Okay, so now we're going to go with a Stitcher Supplier. We'll go 1, 2, 3, nothing of relevance. We'll take 2.
15.
Go to 15. Faithless Looting.
Yep.
Draw 2. Discard Hogaak and Bloodghast and ship it to you.
Okay, so no turn 2 Hogaak. That is
really needed
nice.
the Bloodghast there.
I think I'm pretty happy if Corey blocks, because I think he needs that creature for Hogaak. So I'm going to attack.
I'll take it. I think you're right.
To 12.
12.
I will then play a Mind Stone and an Expedition map.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. So now we get to play Hogaak, but what we could have done, instead of claiming on turn 1, I just kind of thought like, okay, piece of hate, let's kill this. I got a little tunnel visioned. We could have played Stitcher Supplier and then a creature on 2 and just Hogaaked on 2 through the cage, and I think that would have been a better play, so that was a misplay on my part. So we're going to start with a...
You just hard cast the Bloodghast.
No, just Stitcher Supplier into Satyr Wayfinder, had a Hogaak in hand. So then you don't really need the whole cage.
Yeah, that is the combo.
Yep, that's nice. Okay, we're going to start with a Faithless Looting.
Yep.
Draw 2, discard 1, 2. Then we're going to go land, trigger, Bloodghast comes back, take a pain, go down to 11.
Yep.
Satyr Wayfinder, trigger 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get the land. We will cast a Hogaak, bring back 2 Vengevines. Oh, there's another Bloodghast in here. Okay.
That one came out off the Wayfinder.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I need to delve 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. These cards are gone. This is the remainder of our graveyard. Still a pretty strong graveyard. We have like 1,000 power in play. Attacking for 8.
16.
All right. Why would we ban this deck?
I think I could have beaten the first Vengevine, but the second Vengevine is going to be too much.
Yeah. Why ban this deck? I mean, this deck seems very fair and balanced.
Although I guess I needed to draw a land of this turn, which I did not do. Maybe I need to play the Mind Stone instead of the Reshaper, because then when I ripped the map, I would have had the land, and then I would have had the Karn this turn.
Yep.
But then I wouldn't have had the Reshaper ever to block, and I would just be dead.
Sure.
Instead, I can't cast the Karn, and am still dead. So how can I get... So I block a Vengevine.
Yep.
This is 10, 15, 16. Oh, that's lethal still. So the Karn wouldn't have even done anything.
Fair. I think the only decision you have is you didn't know I had any, or maybe I had one Vengevine in play, but leaving this back just to block and hope to get a land or something. But then maybe I just don't attack. But then you're also just blocking a Vengevine that's going to come back next turn. So it's just tough.
Yeah, no, I'm just dead.
Yep. Yeah, and that was even with the misplay on my part. I could have just. This was my opener. My opener was just absolute gas. It was these 5. These 5 with the claim as my mulligan. Just like, yeah, you got it.
Okay,
I believe that's the sweep for today, isn't it?
That might have been, yeah. Might have been.
Well, we got plenty of time.
Yeah. Do you want to battle any of your decks against the Hogak? Dealer's choice?
Oh, don't want to try the Saheeli versus Hogak?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, let's give the Eldrazi Tron deck at least a third game.
Yeah, no kidding. You did get a little screwed in those games, so yeah.
I mean, the hands were fine. Like, I just think that's what this Eldrazi Tron deck does. So, like, unless you hit your land drops and like the right mix and sometimes the right lands, like it gets really awkward, which is the reason I don't like this deck.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Mono Green Tron is actively a great deck and going to be a great choice for, I think it's a decent choice for GP Vegas. Decent. I still would play Hogak for sure, you know. I think it's a decent choice, but then next weekend for SCG Dallas, I think Tron on essentially week 1 of a new format, I think is going to be a phenomenal choice.
Yeah, I think, and, you know, even outside of that factor, I think there's a couple reasons it's good. I think the Tron matchup is good Tron is good against Urza.
Yep, which is
and
people
that deck
know
is going to be
people
good.
know about it.
And I think there's going to be a contingent of people that see Hogak get banned, assume everyone's going to cut way down on their graveyard hate, and then try to take advantage by playing Dredge. And Tron is quite good against Dredge as well.
Yeah, it's not bad. It definitely can lose. I think that match is pretty close, but I think it is favorable for Tron.
It was quite bad before Creeping Chill. Now Chill gives you a little bit of reach, so that you can win. Like you get in some attacks, and then you get to conflagrate them out because you've chilled them once or twice. So, but I'd still rather be on the Tron side, especially if you come, with more Worm Coil. It's the same thing they've been doing against.
And I just think with Hogak going away, people with their more dirtily slower-ish decks that are just going long and not trying to, kill in the first few turns, blue-white control kind of things, people are going to play that deck again, and Tron has great matchups against the slower, mid-rangey style decks. Jund, blue-white control, these decks that are trying to play more fair Magic.
I will say that post Hogak, we might see a lot more Surgicals around, and Surgical has gotten actively good against Tron because so many decks have ways to destroy your lands. Because of the addition of Trophy and Field of Ruin.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
It's one of the reasons that I actually don't think the Azorius matchup is that good.
Yeah,
because of that, and then they have Force of Negation now too. They've got a lot more tools in the matchup than they used to have.
Yep, no, I agree with you on that one. Okay.
Oh, I have a hand of Magic cards.
It's a good sign, right?
So the first 2 turns with this hand are quite good, but then I do absolutely nothing if I don't draw lands. I cannot in a million years beat a Force of Vigor.
Nobody can. Nobody can. That card is just insane. You know what? They're just like, free spells have not been warping the metagame of Standard and Modern enough. Let's put some free spells that's not card disadvantage. You go even on cards with this. It's just insane. My hand is also very weird, but I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to stand by it.
I mean, this is a fine hand if I draw lands, but it's not great, and it really can't beat a Force of Vigor.
Sure.
But I don't know. Whatever. I don't feel like shuffling. I'm over it.
That's the spirit.
We got time to play another game if I get destroyed this one.
All right. We're gonna.
It's like the early turns are so important, and this hand is very good the first 2 turns.
Sure. All right. We're gonna sacrifice. Get a Blood Crypt. We're gonna take 2 and cast a Faithless Looting here.
So you're at 17.
Yep. Going to try to find some action. Our hand was a little awkward in some places, so we're going to try to fix it a little bit. 1, 2. Well, that's pretty weird. We're going to discard 1 of these and 1 trophy. Your turn.
That's not a good sign.
Discarding answers to the cage?
Should have a counter on it. I should have played the other land so I don't have to deal with this. Play a Chalice on 1.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, I'm going to cast Force of Vigor. Now, what to get rid of? We're going to exile this. All right, we just had all the hate in the world. Now we're going to sacrifice this down to 14.
Yep.
Oh, Force of Vigor. All right, Overgrown Tomb. Now, no chance that we can get a Hogak into play this turn, unfortunately. We'll have to settle for probably turn 3. Satyr Wayfinder?
Yep.
And a miss. No land. That's kind of a T. And then we'll ship it back to you. Got a Gravecrawler, a couple Faithless Looting, and a Hogak as our reasonable cards in the yard.
Perfect draw of second tower.
Done.
Yeah.
All right. Now we definitely can Hogak. We just want to pick which way. I think we're going to go with Glowspore Shaman. I think this is one of the few times I actually want to I actively want to put this on top. We're going to put the Cliffs on top and Hogak from the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards.
Yep.
And pass it to you.
I'm going to put a second counter on this Blast Zone.
Think you can get the 7?
Yeah, it's on it. You're on your way.
Gets us a little bit closer to doing cool things.
Okay.
Let's play a Karn.
Okay.
I will find an Ensnaring Bridge.
That's strong. That's strong.
He probably has an answer to this because he's discarded multiple others. But we'll see.
All right, so we'll put this.
How to do what we can do.
Gonna put this in, and we'll attack Karn and you for 9.
I go to 11.
Okay. Chew to 11, and then I will go Karen Feeder.
Yep.
Bring back Gravecrawler, eat Gravecrawler, bring it back, get a counter, go. Oops, only one. And Karen Feeder is one way to get under bridge. It's one really nice way to get under bridge. You just get to attack with just that, sack everything, and then just pump. I don't think we can get to 11, granted, but more than likely some other creatures can attack. All right, so things we're afraid of with only 5 mana is not much. 7 with all his dust or whatever would have been a pretty brutal. Yep. How many cards you got?
3.
3. So I can attack with these and sack Hogak. That's
9.
9. Okay.
2 more creatures.
7, 8, 9.
This is what I can do.
It's what you can do, and I guess we'll just Assassin's Trophy, since we did have all the hate in the world. Our opener was double Assassin's Trophy, Nature's Claim, Force, 1 land, Faithless Looting, and Satyr Wayfinder. I'm like, yep, I'll be able to get my graveyard going.
Am I supposed to just mulligan until I somehow have like perfect 5s? Like, I don't think this deck has good 5-card hands.
I mean, you had a piece of hate. You had a piece of hate plus a Chalice. I mean, it's just the problem is Force of Vigor is just insane against E-Tron.
Yeah.
It's just plain and simple. Like, I was at Mythic Championship Barcelona in my last round, game 3, to be 11-5 or 10-6. And I mean, that's a huge point jump. That's an invitation. Like, this is a huge game, My opponent's on E-Tron and goes turn 1 or Leyline on 0 and turn 1 Expedition map. I had Force. I mean, that's game. That's game. What do you do from there? Like, you lose your biggest hate card plus the card that's going to fix my opponent's mana, and it's just too much to deal with when it's free.
Yeah, no, Force is definitely very good. And then, like, that hand panned out. I drew the lands I needed. I went turn 1 Cage, turn 2 Chalice, turn 4 Karn, turn 5 Bridge. Did not get a turn 6.
All right. Do I get to go first?
That is not how this works.
Okay.
Keep drawing the 1 Cage and no ley lines. This hand is literally just all in on Cage. It doesn't do anything else.
Yep, mine was a no-lander, so that was an easy decision there.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Do you guys think anything else is going to get banned other than Hogak on Monday?
I would personally like to see Faithless Looting, and that's the only one I could consider that might have a small amount of target on his head, but there's a huge problem with banning too many cards, right? Like it adds for like some feel bads, you know, people that have been collecting and built their deck that has, you know, 2 of the banned cards in it, and now your deck is like basically obsolete. I think that's bad for the game. So I think at max it's going to be 2 cards, and I think if it happens it's going to be Hogak and Faithless Looting. That's my prediction, but I could easily see it just being Hogak, and then Faithless Looting and maybe Mox Opal being banned sometime in the future. What about you? What do you think?
I think we're just going to see Hogak. I don't think if Faithless Looting is going to get banned, it would have happened a while ago.
You think so?
Yeah, I think something much more egregious has to happen. You know, Dredge looked like it might be a boogeyman for a very short time. Actually, post chill, people adjusted. Is that Phoenix had a good period of dominance, but it was about the same period where like Humans was really popular. You know, they were both like at that same level, 10 to 15%, which is where things get dangerous. Like Humans was at that level for a while, Shadow was at that level. Eventually things adjusted. The same thing happened to this at Phoenix. So, you know, Faithless Looting is a powerful card, but we've yet to like sort of push it over the edge.
The only problem I see is it's in so many decks. Like every deck is just playing it now. Like it's in Dredge, you know, I mean, it's in Hogak. It's just...
Is there an argument to the it's like the brainstorm of Modern, which is kind of is a feature of the format, and they might not want to touch it?
You know, I don't buy that argument as the reason not to ban it. I think Legacy is a little bit of a different animal where people are really entrenched, whereas Modern has a lot more ability to be modular. And you know, the decks where we've seen it in like fair archetypes, things like Mardu Pyromancer haven't really been big for quite a while. So I don't really buy that, but
I do think you said a very good point. All right, I'll stay away from the graveyard. A Force of Vigor. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have it. But I think Modern is a very good format in the sense that it is a self-correcting format, and you know, that's just going to be true for the format. There's going to be good cards, and then the format will answer it. So I'll go to 18.
I will play Urza's Mine and pass the turn.
Okay.
I guess going along with that, the self-correcting idea, how long do you feel people need to give a deck to figure out if it's too strong to ban, or if it's too good and we need to ban it, or if it just needs time to adapt?
So, I mean, I think we've given Hogak enough time to realize that this card is bannable. But I mean, the thing about Faithless Looting is you can't really give that card a chance because it's in so many decks. You know,
I mean that in particular. But like Ross was saying, when Dredge got big again, people were like, "I'll just ban all of Dredge."
I mean, you got to give it like at least a month or something, I would think, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Your turn.
You need several turns of data. So you're at 15. I'm at 20 here. I would have been better last turn. Let's play our Matter Reshaper.
Okay.
Would have been sweet to just have double Leyline and turn 3 Tron. Be like, okay, this is what I need to do to win.
Zombone?
Yep. Zomboni.
Now I think we'll go with a Gravecrawler.
Yep.
And we will ship it to you.
So I could play this, but I don't actually think that's good. I think I'd rather just get rid of your sources of card advantage. So I'm going to play Blast Zone and just pop it.
Okay, I will draw a card, lose a life.
You go to 14.
14, draw. God, that's good. That is a good one. Okay.
Yeah, attack for 3.
You got it.
You're at 11.
11.
Pass.
I will sacrifice this.
10. I think we're doing it. I think we're going to get 1.
You might be doing it.
And then the show will immediately end.
You might be doing it. I will Assassin's Trophy with this.
I'll find a waste.
Okay. Untap. Oh. All right. Claim that.
I go to 24.
I will take a pain down to 10.
Down to 9. You fetched.
Down to 9. Okay. Satyr Wayfinder. 4. And the gag. Your turn.
So I'm at 24.
And I'm at 9.
You're at 9.
Just 2 ley lines in play. Hogak, turn 4. Without a force. And we're definitely not out of this by any means, but we're in it now at least. All right, so we still got Hogaak in play through 2 ley lines and a blast zone, destroying 2 of my creatures. This is fair and balanced. But we do have no graveyard. That is a huge problem. Having to start your resources over with absolutely nothing except a peat land here is a problem, you know. But
this is a weird one that I'm considering doing. I kind of want to get the Basilisk Collar.
Oh. Strap it up.
It's going to make it really difficult for you to race. You're going to have a hard time dealing with the Hogaak. Thing is, like, as soon as I play this Karn, it's probably dying.
Probably.
But you send the Gak there. You leave these back. Certainly leave this one back.
Yep.
And then on my turn.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I think that works well, actually. I'm going to try it because it's interesting.
It'll definitely be sweet.
Let's get the collar and play it. Pass the turn.
All right. Untap.
Yep.
Okay. Supplier?
Yep.
Okay, we got another Hogaak. Now, which land would we rather have? Access to Faithless Looting, or... I mean, I guess there's nothing that costs 1 green.
Second claim for the collar.
Yeah. I don't even think we have another claim in our deck. Okay, so we'll go here at Karn and upstairs with the Zombone.
I'll go to 22, Karn down.
Okay, 22, and then... Go.
I will play Reality Smasher.
It's pretty good.
Collar.
It's pretty good.
Attack.
All right. I will block.
Okay, take 4 trample, go to 5. I go to 27.
27. Makes sense a little bit more with that Basilisk Collar.
Yeah.
Go like this. All blanks.
That's the turn.
Blank city. Can't really do too much attacking here. I think I just got to play defensive, do a little blocking. I'll just ship it to you.
Attack.
I'll block.
Take 4.
Oh, yeah, Death Touch, huh?
Death Touch trample.
Okay, that's quite a combo. I guess we'll go... That's pretty bad. Yeah, we got a block here. We'll double block.
Actually, that might have been a mistake on my part, but that's fine. So you take 3, go to 2.
Yep.
I go to 32.
2 to 32. Okay.
I'll play a 2/2 ballista.
Okay.
I guess I should have attacked with this 2, and then you're definitely dead.
I was dead regardless. You just shoot me for 2 at the ballista.
Yeah, but
right?
if you would put 3 in front, you play around that.
Sure.
But if I attack with both, you're just dead.
Yeah, I like the collar. Collar at Death Touch and
I drew
trample is pretty nice.
I drew the temple that turn, and that changed everything. I was like, what can I do now? Because next turn I get to do this with some mana left over. And I think the collar was right.
Yeah,
I think drawing the ballista is also really good there.
Well, I mean, we saw the power of Hogaak. Even that game, the game you had, this final game that you won, you had 2 ley lands on turn 0, and I dealt with them by turn 3 and still put in a Hogaak. Granted, I had all my resources were drained from me. That is how you beat Hogaak, but I mean, the deck's powerful. E-Tron still has game. And yeah, I mean, it was a good day of testing out some of Modern's staples, I would say, leading into Vegas.
Yeah. Hopefully the last week I'm going to see Hogaak.
I'm with you.
We had all these fun matches in the first 2, like really long, interesting games.
Yeah.
A ton of stuff happening on either side. And then we play this last one, and Hogaak is just like, yo, by the way, I'm still here.
I'm still here.
It's just absurd.
Honestly, you said it right. Like, we had amazing match 1, match 2, and then Hogaak comes in and does this. Like, that's just the reason why it should be banned, right? Like, people want to play their sweet, fun decks. People want to play their Saheeli decks, their Urza Land, their Jund decks. But when this deck is just a criminal like it is right now, just taking up, 3 to 5 top 8 slots of every single premier tournament, that's just too much. And I think it's pretty obvious to everyone. I have no knowledge, of course, but I think it's getting banned. You think it's getting banned. If Professor Rob thinks it's getting banned, then I mean...
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
yeah.
Then that's the final say.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do some sub shout-outs and maybe take a few questions if we got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sub shout outs. Ryan Possible for 6 months.
Nice.
And Master Marshmallow for 7 months. So thank you to both of our subs for
nice. Master Marshmallow. I like it. I prefer Master Shake, as the old Adult Swim show.
Yeah. So back a little bit around the Overturf comment. What do you feel is better, Mono Red Prowess or Mono Red Phoenix?
I'm quite amenable to Ryan's evaluation. He's been playing the deck, for a while now, and put up now a Grand Prix top 4 finish with it.
Yep.
I think the Prowess deck, it just makes more sense with what the deck is doing. It started as a Phoenix deck because Is It Phoenix was a thing, and everyone's like, okay, we got to try Phoenix decks.
And then they wanted to get faster, so they put 1-drops.
Yeah, yep. and it's so hard. It's so hard to actually assemble. You don't have a lot of card selection in the mono red decks. You basically just need Looting and Phoenix together. Mm-hmm. Looting is already okay in the deck because you want to discard excess lands. You want to fuel Bedlam Reveler.
Yep.
But Phoenix is basically horrendous without Faithless Looting.
Completely agree.
The Is It deck has so many other cantrips and it finds Faithless Looting a lot more reliably.
Yep.
So that's generally okay. And even then, we started with my initial list had a lot more discard outlets. I got to discard these Phoenixes. We were playing Chart of Course. You have Lightning Axe too, but and that one ended up being fine. But we ended up cutting all of those and just being down to only the 4 Lootings and 1 Axe.
Yeah. And I mean, with the Is It Phoenix list, you have Thing in the Ice to bounce Arclights and then Faithless Looting to discard. You have a lot more cool interactions that gain you a lot more advantage. I think it's the plain simple fact why I dislike Eldrazi Tron. You're jamming 2 decks into 1. Just play 1 linear, powerful strategy in Modern, and you usually succeed with those things. So I'm a big fan of just the Prowess version, no Phoenix.
That said, I do think Phoenix gets a lot better with Zan Syed's innovation of splashing green for Wrenn and 6 and playing Seasoned Pyromancer. Pyromancer is another discard outlet for them.
Yeah.
Maybe you can try that in mono red too, but with Gruul, Wrenn and 6 not only gives you extra things to discard to Looting so you don't have Phoenix, it also just gives you extra land drops so you can hard cast your Phoenixes more reliably.
Yep. No, I'm totally with you. I like Zan's build with the Phoenixes. But yeah, if you just want to stick to mono red, stick to little red prowess creatures and just run over people with that.
So yeah, unclear between the two, but I agree. Mono red, definitely prowess. But I'm interested in Zan's list, which I was initially dismissive of.
Yeah.
Wrenn and 6, it just doesn't feel like a card that's good in the deck, but it actually has so much tactical synergy with what's going on.
Yeah, it's just one of those cards. It's okay, it doesn't seem like it fits in a deck. People were just throwing Jason every single deck, and it's that doesn't really seem to fit. And then you just cast the card, and you're oh, it fits. It fits wherever you put it, because Wrenn and 6 is just busted.
It's like a cat with too small of a box.
Yeah.
It'll fit. It'll find a way to fit inside of it.
And I mean, your Jund versus my Wurza deck, it's not great there. But that is one of the few matchups where getting infinite lands from your graveyard back and pinging X1s is not relevant. A deck that's combo killing you with no X1s, But yeah. Got any more there, Rob?
Yeah, so aside from Stoneforge Mystic, do you feel like there's any unbannable cards in Modern?
I bet there are.
What's all banned now?
Yeah, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of the ban list. I'm skeptical of the Stoneforge unban.
Yeah.
So I'll come out and say that. The one that I always argue for it, and sometimes people react really badly, really strongly. I think Umzao's GT can be unbanned.
What?
So you played back when that card was Monster.
Oh yeah, I played that in Standard. You just win.
Yeah, and as did I. And think about the formats that card was in. There were no artifact removal spells that were versatile enough to go other in the main decks and be relevant if they didn't draw GT. People were, because of the old legend rule, control decks were playing GT to kill opposing GTs.
Yeah,
and then they would board in some high toughness creature that had a little bit of power, could just carry a GT.
Sure.
Now, there's Abrupt Decay, there's Assassin's Trophy, there's Kolaghan's Command, there's
Force
a Braid,
of Vigor.
There's Force of Vigor, and the dies to removal argument is not a great one, but this is a card that you're investing 4 mana in on turn. Usually you want to play and equip on the same turn, so you get the attack in. So it's a 4 mana play that doesn't have an immediate impact on the battlefield if they can answer it, and there's a ton of ways to answer it at a huge tempo advantage. So I think there's a lot of a risk to it. And then the other thing is that back when GT was dominating, creatures weren't as powerful. There were a lot more 1 toughness creatures around. So that first trigger often killed 2 things.
Yeah.
And certainly killed 1 thing. Now the creatures are a lot bigger. that first trigger might not do a whole lot.
Yeah.
And it'll still help you dominate combat. I think it would still be good.
Yeah.
And I think it would see play, but I don't think it would be unhealthy at all.
No, you're kind of right. I just think about like, okay, what would it do against some of the bigger matchups? And like, Urza,
Yeah.
they would laugh at that. Yeah, an equipment? Sure. Kill you.
Also, what decks would play it? Like humans can't because of Ziggurat.
I mean, they would probably change, right?
Like maybe you'd see more Bant lists, but it's hard to fit it with Collected Company too.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I bet Jund would play it.
Yeah.
I bet Jund would play a couple copies.
But would it main deck them? Is it that it's not that good in like some attrition matchups? People have already started cutting Dark Confidant.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. And even like Tron, you play, if your opponent plays, you read a GT and you're playing, Urza lands and you just go, okay, well, Ugin.
It might end up just being a sideboard card for creature mirrors.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I don't like it, but I can see it.
I think a lot of people probably felt the same way about GTA as Sword of the Meek, right?
Yeah.
Sort of makes a little bit of a different card, but I can see that. Well, so with Thopter Foundry, like we have more answers to it, but usually like the damage is done when they set it up, or at least some damage.
Yeah.
No, that is one of the reasons that I don't think Thopter Foundry was as good. There are just better answers to that combo than there used to be.
Yep.
And again, like making all those 1/1s probably doesn't stabilize you as quickly.
Well, it sure wouldn't stabilize you when you got a GT in play.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that extended format with Thopter Depths, and I didn't have access to the deck. I wasn't playing a ton of Magic at the time.
Sure.
And I was going to a PTQ at the Pro Tour in San Diego.
Okay.
I was out of school in LA, and I got together Peter Brozek's Check a Burn list with the landfall theme.
Oh, sure.
This is a deck that was playing 4 main deck Ghost Quarter and 4 Flagstones, and you would often just Ghost Quarter your own Flagstones to trigger landfall. You didn't have played a GP, but you had Step Links and you had Zektar Shrine Expedition. It's Call Red Enchantment.
Turns into like a 7/1 or something, right?
Once you got 3 landfall counters on it. And you could turn 3 a lot, and you had 4 paths and 4 Ghost Quarters to deal with early Merit Lages and Dark Depths.
Okay, reasonable.
Yeah, it was a cool deck. A little inconsistent, obviously, with the weird mana base, but it was a fun one, and so that's what I played. But I
was Thopter Depson.
Yeah, even then, Thopter Foundry would be really strong. But no, GT is my answer. We can take one more if we got it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same.
That's all I got.
That's about it. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming here and watching Versus Live today. I'm not sure what we are going to be doing next week yet. Yep. Nobody has told me, but Corey is going on vacation for a week.
Yep.
So we're going to be trying to find a replacement, and we will let y'all know. You can follow all of us on Twitter, and we'll let you know there. But for now, we got Vegas coming up this week. If we're not here next week, we can tell you about the Open in Dallas. Do we know who's commentating that one?
Cedric Patrick and Ryan Todd.
Cedric Patrick and Ryan Todd, 2 great duos there, and fun people to hang out with a Sunday night in Fort Worth.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a fun trip. We will both be there, actually.
Yep.
Corey's going to be flying straight there from back home. So, if you can make it out to Fort Worth, come say hi to us. We always love to hear from fans. If you cannot, we will be bringing you all the coverage, or at least they will, starting 10:30 local time. I believe that's Central time now.
Yep.
So an hour behind Eastern on Saturday. That'll be the 30th. And all through the weekend on the 31st, and hopefully that'll be our first Modern tournament with Modern Horizons, but without Hogaak.
Yeah, and then I'm just excited for the week after. We can start recapping some of these new exciting decks that we're going to see at the SCG, and really see, if our guesses that like Urza's going to stay on top, what other new decks are going to come up. We're really going to
break out.
Oh, it's breaking out. I'm playing it. So. It's breaking out.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. We will hopefully see you next week, if not the week after that. And bye.
See ya.